When I was a kid, we played a lot of two-hand touch football. I have three older brothers, so two-hand touch football usually turned into something closer to organized chaos. There's four kids, one football, and a lot of arguing about the rules. I was the youngest, which meant there was really only one fair way to split up the teams. I always got paired with my oldest brother. At the time, it kind of felt like luck. My oldest brother is 7 years older than me. He was taller, faster, stronger, and most importantly, he thought faster than I did. When I was 4 or 5, I wasn't the mastermind of anything. I wasn't the best athlete, but my brother had the plan. He would walk up to me when we got the ball on our side, and he'd hold the palm of his hand out and say, "Okay, you're the quarterback." And then he would draw plays on his hand. Literally, he would draw these little routes for himself and then look at me and say, "You got it?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Okay, cool. I'm going to line up here and I'm going to run forward and then cut left. Or I'll juke left, but then I'll actually go right. So throw the ball right. Or wait until you count to 4 Mississippi and then throw here." And that was my whole job. Count, wait, throw. And because he was bigger and faster than everyone else, he was always where I threw the ball. And we won a lot of games. Not just because I was some brilliant kid, but because I could follow his directions. And that pattern showed up everywhere. Basketball, hockey, board games. In board games, we'd form these unofficial alliances just long enough to knock my other two brothers out of the game. Then all bets were off, and it drove my brothers crazy. But my oldest brother and I, we won. We won a lot. And this just didn't happen in games. It carried into real life, like yard work. One fall, my parents gave us trash bags and said, each team has to fill up 10 bags worth of pine needles. We had a lot of pine trees, like 100 in our yard. It was crazy. But it was cold and it was raining, which, if you're from Texas, you know is already unfair. My oldest brother looked at me and said the following: "We're not taking our time. We're getting this done. We're getting back inside." So then he gave me the plan. Go grab an old sweatshirt you don't care about. You're going to pull down the sleeves to cover your hands with it. And then you're going to hold the bag open and kneel close. And he showed me exactly what to do. I opened the bag and arms wrapped in the sweatshirt and my face turned away so I wouldn't get scratched. And he grabbed massive piles of pine needles and just shoved them in the bag as fast as he could. He'd get like 2-3 huge armfuls and the bag would be just packed. And he'd even add a little extra on top just to make it look really full. One bag, done. Then we would do another one, and all of a sudden we had 10 lined up at the end of the driveway, all neat, full, and finished. We did it in like 20 minutes flat. My parents came outside and stared at the bags and said, "Are you serious?" We were already headed back inside. 10 minutes later, we were clean, dry, and playing video games, while my other two brothers were still outside, arguing about whose turn it was to hold the bag. And that's when it really clicked for me. I didn't win because I was the strongest. I didn't win because I was the smartest. I won because I listened. I followed someone who could see the bigger picture. And that lesson stuck. Because life is full of moments where we want to prove we're capable, where we want control, the credit, and independence. And sometimes that's actually important. But sometimes the smartest thing you can do is to recognize when someone else knows more than you do. Sometimes winning looks like listening. Sometimes leadership looks like trust. Sometimes progress looks like humility. Every team, every family, every classroom, every workplace has moments where someone needs to just throw the ball and someone else needs to draw the play. And here's what I learned early on. If you're willing to listen, work hard, and trust the process, you'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish, how fast you can move, and how often you'll win. Not because you did it alone, but because you didn't try to.